I drive this pickup for years and got her out of a limousine into a pickup truck, and she ended up liking it a lot. Well, I trained horses for 15 years, actually 13 years. And I had 64 head of horses during the 70s and 100 head of cattle. And I kind of learned it all. It started with Hopalong Cassidy and Roy Rogers and Gene Autry as a kid. And then my dad was a developer, and on one house that we lived in, we usually lived in each house that he built. Uh, and then it got sold out from under us. I lived in 14 houses by the time I graduated from high school. But he bought a couple of horses on the last one, and I had to clean up after him. So I learned a little bit about him. And then I ended up buying this fantastic ranch that I kept reading about everywhere. And I thought, one day it was a 4 hour drive away. So one day I just said, I got to see whether this guy is one of the great writers in history, one of the great liars, or is this ranch really as good as it reads? And I bought it in 20 minutes after I drove in. Had
Mm.
everything I ever dreamed of. And it was near Big Sur, near the Hearst Castle,
Okay.
in that area. It's beautiful up there. So we lived up there for 10 years. That's where Josh was raised. No, but I bought something nearby to develop, knowing that I was going to maybe retire on this other wonderful property. And my ex took it over, and then she was killed in an auto wreck, and Josh has had it for 15 years. He sold it once and bought it right back. No, no,
Okay.
no, I was out of there and we had moved to Montecito. I met my wife in the early, in 96. And we were married in 98. So we've been here for 29 years next month. No, not too dusty. Brooklyn girl. But now if I had got bagel crumbs all over, that wouldn't matter. He's a really great, easygoing guy. And when I was around him, I said to myself, he's done a lot of stuff. He's been around, but this is his time. He just was mellow. His eyes were so blue, and the gray really looked good on him.
Mhm.
But his attitude was just so easygoing and firm at the same time.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't going to take any crap from anybody, and I
Yeah.
like that. She didn't because it was freezing yeah, it ended up in late May, and it was just so cold. I said, wait, wait, wait. And it just kept on and kept on. And we were snowed out of a lot of locations. And so she didn't go, but she loves to go. You know me, I drive this pickup for years and got her out of a limousine into a pickup truck, and she ended up liking it a lot. Now we have a Sprinter, van where we go places in.
Oh,
And
road
so,
trip.
she's a hand. She'd go in a truck stop and say, "Look at all this great stuff to buy." In reality, I'm a character actor, way down deep inside. I love characters. And it's funny. I heard a guy last night in politics. He was on the TV, and I thought I'd like to do that character. Maybe with a wig or you know, whatever. But I did, I turned down Clark Gable, and Sidney Furie came to me and said, all right, I want to sit you down in the theater. We're going to look at Gable movies for a week, and I'll check in on you now and then." And it was about 4 days later. He said, "What do you think?" And I said, "I just got a weird little twinge, like from acting class, little thing." And he says, "Good. I knew that was going to happen." And anyway, so good or bad, I did that. And then when I did Reagan, even at night, before I'm going to shoot something, I'm walking around with a laptop with a DVD, the old laptop with a DVD in it, and I'm looking at Reagan speeches, going, "I don't have it yet. I don't have it yet. Oh yeah, yeah, I got to shoot this at 6 in the morning." Most fun when you're under pressure and full of fear. I don't know why that is, because when I was in high school, I used to sit down shaking, just giving a book report. But there
Yeah.
was something about challenging that and that fear that you're not prepared yet and having to do it anyway. You're never ready. Even when you direct or produce a film, they rip it out of your hands. You're never finished with it.